So I'm going to explain how to set up the pen grip, and you'll have to do this numerous times because you're going to design several pen grips. In a new design, if you're starting from a new design, I'm going to make a new sketch. I'm going to make a rectangle, and it's got to be very specific sizing to deal with a couple of aspects of the 3D printing process. So it's got to be the length of the pen tube, which I have as 2.038. I'm measuring it with dial calipers right now. I'm hitting tab for the height. The height of it, based on experimentation, there was some shrinking when it printed, like the plastic when it cooled it shrunk. 0.285 seems to be a good number for right now where we've been, and that is representing the hollow space. This is like the side view. I'm going to draw a line in the middle because I'll eventually use that to revolve. This represents the hollow tube in which the brass fitting will go. Now on the edges, on the sides, let me get this out of my way, I'm going to draw something to represent the parts that are connected to the brass tube, because those parts are going to blend at the same level. Like, we don't want it to step down or step up to those parts. So this can be pretty much anything. I'm just going to make it 0.1 just for, I don't know, just to have it there. The size of this, so I'm using the pen tip right now to measure that. So the pen tip is 0.333. So I want 0.333. That as my reference. So when the pen goes back to the ring or the pen tip or the pen cap, it should be about 0.33 in size. I'm going to use the midpoint constraint to make that line up in the middle to that line, so I have this as a reference. And I'll do the same thing on the other side. Oops. Just dimensioning these. So that's 0.333, and then that is just 0.1. That one doesn't matter as much. And I'm using a midpoint. So what doesn't matter as much is how wide this is. So from here to there, midpoint. So now while I'm drawing, I can use any tool to create shapes along this edge. So I can go up and down, trying to go too close to this line. Like, I would stay above that corner, just so that way you don't have any issues of being too thin or breaking. So I'm going to do an arc from here to that corner. So that's where it needs to end. So when you make this up, you make whatever shape you want here, and that's a shape that you're revolving around the middle. So for example, with mine, if that's my shape, my axis I'll select as this, I end up with something like this. So this is one way to do a pen handle. You could do it as a loft if you understand that. Feel free to go for that. Another thing that you can try is you can add things like groove. You just don't want to come in too close to this edge here, because that's going to cut into the integrity of the pen. So I'm just doing this as an example, because you can make whatever shape you want. Like a circular pattern of that around the center of that circle, because you can do a negative cut as well, making something to give it some sort of groove or a flute or something like that. So this would be an example of the pen handle. Again, the sketch that we started from looked like this, and the customized part of it, the part that you're going to do for each part pen handle you design, is this line up top here, and it's going to start from that corner and it's going to go to that corner over there. And you can try curves, you can try arcs, you can try lines, you can try the spline tool. It's whatever you want to try to give you a novel shape, and that's going to be how you make your pen handles for the pen kits that we have for this project. Let me know if you have any questions. Hopefully this helps some of you get this pen handle part done.